Hello, our team is the Loraxes, and this is our solution to reduce human-caused wildfires in Harrison Lake. I'm Nathaniel, the facilitator.
I'm Jalen, I'm the organizer.
I'm Leo, the recorder.
I'm Nayam, the presenter.
So, fires could burn twice as much average area per year in Canada by the end of the century. This worrying statistic is at work at Harrison Lake, and this is some of the context as to why.
This timeline of recent wildfire history in Harrison Lake shows that there hasn't been many wildfires in recent years. While this may seem like a good thing, it leads to an accumulation of fire fuel such as dead leaves, logs, and branches. This also significantly increases the risk of more intense and larger wildfires. The accumulation of fire fuel is shown through the Provincial Strategic Threat Analysis Levels map. For a closer view, please take a look at the handout that we have given out. The yellow and orange area indicates that Harrison Lake is under moderate to high fire threat. Our key issue is the lack of implementation of fire fuel reduction in the Harrison Lake area. There are several causes to this, and the first reason is the environmental limitations. In Harrison Lake area, the current fire fuel reduction strategy used needs a perfect weather condition due to the amount of smoke that it produces. So this significantly limits the frequency of how many times the fire fuel reduction can be carried out. Second is a lack of government funding towards the fire prevention. The government currently focuses more on fire fuel suppression, putting out the fires, rather than preventing them before they happen. Third is a lack of collaboration within the indigenous communities. Lastly, it is due to the public misconceptions of people believing that all wildfires are bad for the environment.
Our mission is to increase fire fuel reduction, which will in turn reduce the chance of human-caused wildfires in Harrison Lake from spreading. This will be done by reducing slash pile burnings, increasing collaboration, and raising awareness. So, our team interviewed many professionals. However, our slide deck directly references these three people. When these names are mentioned, judges, please refer to your handout sheet in the reference section for further clarification on their credentials. Fire fuel reduction is done through methods such as cultural burnings, prescribed burnings, clear cutting, thinning, logging, and many more. Speaking with Michael Stefanik, we learned how fire fuel reduction methods can help decrease community risk to wildfires, help improve the health of local ecosystems, and reduce wildfire hazards.
Our first objective is to increase safety and health of the ecosystem, as well as increasing financial support.
In order to achieve this objective, we'll reduce the amount of slash pile burnings. Slash is the wood fiber residue left on the floor post-fire fuel reduction. This creates an environmental hazard, as this slash is then burned due to incremental cost of transportation. This results in slash pile burnings accounting for 6% of BC's annual greenhouse gas emissions. In order to reduce slash pile burnings, it is essential that we transport the slash rather than burning it on site. As stated by Interfor, a major logging company, they would also prefer to transport the slash. However, they do not have the financial means to cover the transportational costs. In order to mitigate this, the provincial government of British Columbia is awarding the Forest Enhancement Society of British Columbia $60 million over the next 3 years for wildfire risk reduction. Now, to transport the slash, we will take the slash from the slash burning piles, transport them to local mills where they will be turned into biofuel. Past project with FESBC has shown how this can be incredibly effective, as in Quesnel, Fraser Lake, and Williams Lake, the reduction of slash pile burnings helped improve local indigenous employment, improve the local economy, and improve wood fiber utilization. Now, the area of interest where our solution could actually be implemented is shown by these two maps taken directly from the Harrison Spring Community Wildfire Resiliency Plan. As you can see on the map 1, with the green shaded area, that is the Crown provincial land owned by the provincial government. This is great, and the mix allows our solution to be more feasible, as the provincial government has already shown interest in wildfire risk reduction. This also aligns with our previously shown PSTA hazard level graphs. This allows our solution to be more scalable, as any areas with excessive fire fuels that will undergo future fire fuel reduction projects can implement the reduction of slash pile burnings.
Our second objective is to honor local indigenous traditions through collaboration.
So, why is this important? Well, it comes down to recognizing indigenous title to the land. Indigenous people have been stewarding their land since time immemorial, and respecting them means respecting their right to do so. Also, in all this time, they've developed various traditional fire mitigation methods, which we can use as alternatives to current policies, which often are more harmful than helpful. Also, by involving indigenous partners, we can locate and preserve historical cultural sites. This can also be done with remote access to archaeological data, which is available on federal sites. By looking at the graph on the right, we can see that the number of prescribed fire and cultural burn plans developed between the BC government and Indigenous people has increased steadily over the past 3 years. However, this has not been the case in Harrison Hot Springs, as none such projects have been implemented to date. So, by looking at these examples of projects carried out between the BC government and various Indigenous peoples, we can see that these collaborations often are very successful. This is an indication that a similar project carried out in Harrison Hot Springs could have similar results.
Our third objective is to rectify public misconceptions on fire mitigation through education.
So, by educating locals in Harrison Hot Springs, we can help them become aware of misconceptions they may have on fire, and we can teach them about indigenous methods of land preservation. Both of these could help them become better stewards of their land and could garner more public support for our solution. The best way to do this is with in-person info booths. By speaking with Brian Bubella, we determined that in-person activities are more engaging than anything done online. They can also be better targeted, as when we spoke with Tanner Wick, we learned that BC Parks puts their in-person info booths around public parks and camping grounds. Also, they are more easily accessible since they can be set up easily and can reach lots of people. An example of this was the IdeaX Summit, where we distributed pamphlets and used a video game to teach young students about fire safety.
For the cost of pamphlets, we will use the highest demand and order in bulk. Transportation costs $648 per hectare, and for the cost of burning, it will cost $413 per hectare. Please look at the handout for the more detailed calculations. To help fund this initiative, we aim to partner with BC organizations such as FESBC. Burning 1,200 hectares results in $1.27 million, closely aligning with the $1.6 million for the Cranbrook prescribed fires, reinforcing our calculation to be both feasible and consistent with past burn projects. So to wrap this up, we have our 3 main objectives, which is to build a healthy ecosystem with financial support by reducing slash pile burnings. We also want to honor indigenous traditions by prescribed and cultural burnings, as well as to correct public misconceptions by raising public awareness through education.
All right, that's all. Thank you for listening.